Hi, welcome to the Todd and Debra Show. This is episode 53.
And we can't even remember when we posted episode 52.
A long time.
And we've missed you guys.
What we've been very busy with is trying to decide whether or not we remain in California.
We came here about 10 years ago and we love California. 2 of our kids were out here and it's been so wonderful being so close to them.
But California is an expensive place to live.
And the cost of living just keeps going up.
And we found ourselves in the position of really having to say, like I said, do we want to stay in California? And that's what we've been doing the last month or so, is really anticipating what our needs are and trying to figure out what's best for us. The first thing came to our mind was, well, what about the kids?
Yeah.
And what do we need to do to be right with them about this?
You know, just automatically thinking about their situation first, and then we would kind of fit ourselves in around it. But then we realized the fact that we no longer are taking care of our kids. Yeah. Shocker, they're grown up, they're married, they have kids of their own.
And we had some good friends who did the same thing.
They made a huge life change and decided to leave San Antonio, Texas, where they had retired and thought they'd be forever.
Right.
One of their 2 daughters lives there with her husband and they're expecting a grandchild. But our friends bought a vacation home in Taos, New Mexico and loved going there so often, they decided to go ahead and move there full time.
We visited them last summer.
Yes, yeah. And we fell in love with the Taos area too. We thought about moving there. And then we remembered that we have extended family and friends living in Colorado. And even our own kids have sometimes gone house hunting there with the thought that they may one day want to live there. We had always just been enthralled with the idea of Colorado, California too, but been there, done that now. And you had been in Denver for a while. I've only ever been in the airport. But after exploring it, isn't it cool how now you can like take little trips and everything just online? You probably know this, that you can say, yeah, Street View. And with Street View, you're driving along. It took me time to learn that I don't have to stop at the stop signs and turn and look that way. Right. Oh, guess I'm just in a virtual car, not a real car. That really did happen. We've loved mountains forever. We built what we thought would be our forever home in the mountains of Virginia, and that's where we were anticipating being, you know, in our retirement years. But we ended up selling that after moving to California. We've lived near the mountains here, and we decided that the Rocky Mountains were calling to us.
Yeah.
Did you hear that when we were there? Todd, Debra.
Well, and I still do.
What people wonder about, though, is the weather. How could we possibly want to return to colder weather?
We discussed that. I mean, you can't beat the weather in Southern California. No two ways about
Fantastic.
that. But we said, well, where else would we go? Well, maybe we'd move to New England, where our other daughter is. But, oh boy, real quickly we realized that humidity is a real big negative for us. So we had to look at places that
didn't really have humidity. Colorado, at least in the area, will be. It's not like the humidity that we loathe so much. As a matter of fact, it's rarely there.
Yeah.
People from Colorado that see this are probably laughing. Who told them that there's no humidity here, right?
The livability index in Colorado, where we're going, is close to what it is here in Burbank. And that has to deal with number of days of humidity and how levels of humidity and things like that. So
we read that on the internet, so it must be true.
It must be true.
And I think the kids were like weirded out by it at first too, because it's kind of creepy maybe when you're elderly parents, or we're not quite 70, but we're closing in on it. And they're like, you're going back to cold weather? Why would you do that? It's just that cold weather doesn't bother us. We've lived in the Midwest. We've lived in New England. We've lived in a lot of places. Once I learned how to dress warmly for winter, we've always enjoyed outdoor life, outside sports, skiing, that sort of thing. LL Bean sells these wagons. If there's a blizzard or something, even when they were kids, remember, there were times that we would go to the nearest grocery store with the sled and bring the groceries back on the sled. So we were explaining that to them, and somehow it got mixed up, and one of them said, how can you be dragging a sled full of groceries through a blizzard? Why does that sound like fun to you? Now everybody, I think, understands, I guess, that we're not going to try to go out and get groceries when there is a blizzard, but we've learned over the years how to stock up when a blizzard's coming. But can I just say this? We love that our kids care about us and we're concerned, because that's a whole nother element. It's like weird being on the upside down with that, right? Where they're kind of...
Well, for them it's the same thing.
What?
Us going from being parents to being just individuals has got to be tough for them too.
I thought you were going to say it's upside down and weird for them because it's like we're acting like kids now.
No, just
your kids can't play out in the blizzard with a sled full of groceries. Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, just that they're now having to realize that they're not kids anymore.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That we don't feel that string that attaches us to them. That they need that, or even that we need that. Because I think there was a time. Do we all go through as parents this sort of like little bit of mourning when they go off to college, and you're like, and they're making decisions without me, which is as it should be, but they don't need me to make those decisions, you know, and then they'll call with a question, and you're like, yay, they did need me, but only for about 15 minutes. No, it's just the circle of life, right? I remember how I took care of my parents when they were elderly. They lived in the same town. It was easy. I could make their meals, bring them over. I could bathe them when they got to the part where they couldn't do that kind of. It was such a gift that I was able to care for them in their older years. And our kids are probably mourning that they weren't going to get to.
Well, I was going to say, they should be thankful that we're moving away from them. They don't have to worry about doing that.
Remember that time when they tried to talk about which one would change our diapers and which one?
Medications and
Nobody seemed thrilled about the diaper thing.
And we still have Skype, which we're using now to talk to everybody. So whether we do it from Burbank here or we do it from Colorado, it's the same thing.
And of course we'll still visit. It's just that while we still have within us the ability to get out and hike and camp and just enjoy the outdoor things, we really want to be doing that. And we want to be able to have all of our living expenses in line with that, which California just isn't allowing.
And the move is going to also allow us to have more money available to make those trips to the East Coast and back to the West Coast
California,
here to visit everybody here.
Yeah.
So,
it's cool that we can make it
watch episodes 54, 55, 56, 57.
Right through 5,987.
You'll see how it all pans out.
We'll be in touch. We kind of love you guys. Is that creepy? Yeah, I thought so. Talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.